Hi, welcome to Jasper Rock's channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial how you can make our crystal eye black macrame bat, like the one I've made here. You've got the choice of 4 crystal eyes to choose from. What are they? Tiger's eye, yellow agate, green agate, and red striped agate, which is particularly wondrous. The link's in the description to buy this as a kit, which will give you everything you need to make it from scratch. Beginners may apply. This is for everyone. Spooky, right? Ooh. In today's tutorial, ready set for Halloween, we are making a black macrame bat with crystal eyes in a choice of 4 different crystals. You're free to make this with your own cord, of course, but do go to our website and make sure you've bought our kit, which gives you everything you need to make this bat, as well as the genuine ethically sourced crystals for the eyes. This is unlike any other macrame kit online in that we always try and feature crystals where possible. Inside the box, you'll have received 12 strands of 150 centimetre cord from Bobbiny, the best cord around, single ply, 5 millimeters. Do check that you've received 12 pieces. Tying those cords together is an additional piece of cord that you will need for the make. We've said it's 35 centimeters, but more likely we'll give you more, about a 50 centimeter cord that we'll need at the very end of the bat. Do have a look through the insert, double check the contents, and make sure you've got what you need. Really, to make this tutorial, you only need a pair of scissors, but a pin board and pins do help, and a comb or a brush is an optional addition to use if you want to comb out the tail of the bat at the end. This one has been combed out, but you are free not to. That's your choice. The bat that we're making today will have tiger's eye eyes. Beautiful, caramelly, iridescent, 10mm crystals of tiger's eye. When you're ready to begin, take your first piece of black cord of 150 centimeters and fold it in half. Okay? At the loop end, take the left side and bring it over into an L shape. And knot it under. Making sure you hold the centerpiece as much as possible. That's where the knot will be, in the center. Knot it up to the top. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then take the right side, make it into a backwards L, and repeat the action, putting the tail underneath, bringing the knot up to meet your original knot. Pull it tight like that. Take another piece of cord and do the same. Fold it in half. At this point, I'm going to pin this knot in place. Now we're going to do a reverse lark's head knot. So we take the loop of the folded over cord, put it under the cord coming down, bring the loop over the top, grab the tails and pull it out in the right hand direction. Pull it tight. We'll repeat this so you'll see me do it again. Push it up to the top. So now you've got 3 cord strands out to the right and 1 down. Make sure it lies nicely. Now we're going to do another knot, the double half hitch knot. If you're familiar with macrame, you'll know this knot. It requires following the direction of knots that you want with an inner support strand. So we're going to be making a line of knots down this way to line next to this first line of knots. So we take the top line of cord and hold it in the direction we want the knots to go, and then we take the subsequent strands and throw them over, bring it underneath and pull it up, guiding it with your finger so that it lies next to that first knot and goes in a direction, a horizontal direction. It's a double knot, so we do it again with the same strand, throw it over and bring it in through this D shape you've created. Pull it up, arranging it in place as you go. That one's done. Take the next strand, fling it over, there's your D shape, and bring the strand through the D, pull it up, still holding this knot straight, that's key. And again. Okay, now you've got 2 strands going down this way, 2 across horizontal. We want to make some more knots down here, so we take our holding knot, pull it down in the direction we want the knots to go, and we've just got 1 strand to throw over a knot in the double half hitch knot. Throw it over, D shape, and pull it up, and once again throw it over, pull it in through the D shape and up. So rejig if needs be, but you should be left with a triangle shape, vertical this side, diagonal that side, because it will be one of your bat's ears. Move it to the side for the moment. And let's make the other ear. Grab another piece of cord, fold it in half, bring your loop to the top, and again make an L, L, bring it under, mine got a bit caught there. Okay, and this time we're not going to do a backwards L, we're going to do a normal L again. L shape, through the loop, pull it up to meet your original knot. So you've got a nice double knot at the top, and we're going to arrange our cord at a 90-degree angle this way. Take your next piece, fold it in half. We're going to make a reverse lark's head knot again, going in this direction. So take the loop, place it under. Your strands are going to the left. Bring the head of the knot over and pull the strands through to the left. Stays the same way. Hold it, tighten, push up. Now we're going to repeat the double half hitch knots on the opposite side. So the top cord becomes your holding knot, bring it down, and this time the next cord gets flung over to the right. Got a backwards D, through the hole, pull up. Repeat. Fling it over. Pull up. That one's done. Next cord down. Fling it over. Through the gap. Pull up. Fling it over. Through the gap. Pull up. Take your next holding cord, bring it down in the direction of the knots, remaining strand out to the left, flies over, pulls up, flies over, pulls up. So this ear you've just made becomes the left ear. Your first ear that you just made becomes the right ear. There we go. Now to join the ears together, we're going to continue with a double half hitch knot. This will be your holding string, the inner right, and we're going to knot over the strands of the left ear. So the holding string always goes over, pin here if you need to, move these out of the way, we're not dealing with those at the moment. Holding string, knot, flies over, D shape, through the gap. Again, flies over, through the gap. We've done that piece of cord. Next one to work with, flies over, through the gap. Flies over, through the gap. Place it over the other side. Flies over, through the gap. Flies over, through the gap. And the last one, flies over, through the gap, pull it tight, one more knot to hold it in place, there. So your ears have been connected. We're going to do the same with the other side now to make it symmetrical. So lay out your strands, 3 this side. This is your holding knot, so hold it in the direction you want the knots to go in. Double half hitch knot, this one flies over the holding knot, through the gap. And again, lay that down, next one, flies over, from the bottom to the top. And again, you use this thumb to guide the knot up, to push it up so it lies in the correct place. Holding strings on top. Knotting string is under, but flies over the top and comes through the gap of the backwards D. Pull it nice and tight and repeat. Okay, lay out your strands for this side, for this side. Now we're going to get on to make the face of the bat. And it starts by making a square knot in the center. The square knot uses 4 pieces of string. It's quite a favorite knot of macrame makers. And to begin with, the left strand of your 4, hold your right at the same time if you can, goes over the center 2 as an L. Pick that up, and you want the right strand to come over your L and in there. Easier to do than explain. So you've made a knot like that around the 2 center pieces, starting with the left, and then you pull it up to the top. Give these a pull down. And then you repeat from the right side. So the right comes over the center 2 as an L. The left goes under all of them and through this gap here. Hold the 2 knots down, that helps, and bring the knot up. That's a closer look for you. Now we're going to fix on the eyes. So grab your crystals. Now with crystals, the hole through them is quite small, a lot smaller than wooden beads. If you're making this without our kit, feel free to use wooden beads if you have them. And the hole will be quite big, you could probably get the entire strand of cord through the hole. But with these crystals, which is part of the Jasper Rocks unique kit, the hole will be quite small, so we won't be able to fit the entire strand of cord through the hole. So you've got some choices. You can either unfurl a couple of strands, like I'm doing here, cut it at about 20 centimeters and knot it on independently, or you can unfurl it completely, which is what I'm going to do. And slide it on the strand. There we go. That's on there. The knots we do coming up will help it stay in place. But you could do a little holding knot here if you wanted. There we go. So just to be clear, you're keeping the center strands free. The eyes are going on the strands either side of the center 2. So I'm going to break away 2 strands. That will fit together, fit through the hole nicely now. You could even do 3 strands or 4 strands, whatever works. Just hold it in place with a loose knot. There we go. We're now going to do some double half hitch knots to enclose the eye, to build more of the face. So the knots are going to come down in this direction. So we take the outer strand and hold it over. It's your holding knot in the direction you want to knot over the others. The first knot on the left, throw it over, pull it up to make your double half hitch knot. And again. Next strand, which will hold the eye in place nicely. One, two, and the final one from the left side. Throw it over, curve the knot round a bit so it comes around the eye. That's great. So you've done that side. Now we repeat with the right side. This is your holding knot. You're knotting in this direction. Bring it over all the other knots and fling over the knots as you pass them. First one. Next one, which will hold the eye in place. One, two, and the final one. Now the face is taking shape. Okay, you've got this spare strand here. You can either wrap it round or you can cut it off because it is secure now. And it's at this point we move our head to the side to start creating the wings. Take a fresh cord and fold it in half so you've got your center loop at the top. Make an L shape. And knot it. And for this first set, make an inverted L shape, like with the first ear. And knot them together. Arrange your cord in a right angle with the top cord to the right. Take your next cord and just like with the ears, we're going to do a reverse lark's head knot. So the loop goes under, the loop goes over to the right, the strands which are on the right are pulled through to the right. Tighten it. And now instead of pushing it up straight away, we're going to create some more knots with this lark's head knot. So take your top strand, throw it over, and bring the tail in through the D shape you've just created. Hold it in shape as much as you can, it will help. do the same with the lower cord. Throw it over in a loop, D shape, pull the tail through the D shape, pull them tight, but not so tight that you can't pull them up, push them up. Okay, push them up like that. Rearrange and tighten. Now take another cord, just see the bigger picture for a minute. Take another cord, loop it in half, and we're going to repeat that. So reverse lark's head knot under, loop over to the right, tails pulled through to the right. Pull it tight-ish. Take the top strand, throw it over, pull the tail into the shape of D you've just created. Pull it tight. Repeat with the bottom underneath the middle knot. Push it to the top. Tighten now. So we're creating lots more strands coming out to the right from our main knot here. And you're going to do it one more time. Take one more strand, fold it in half, take the loop, reverse lark's head knot under, loop to the right, tails to the right. Top string over into the D shape, pull, bottom string over into the D shape, pull, push up. Okay, so you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strings coming out to the right. Swivel at 90 degrees. So the strands are coming down and you've still got your cord coming out to the left. And repin if you're using pins. Now we're going to create the wings of the bat. What we're doing here is making the wing. We've created this top row of knots here, and now with these strands we'll be creating these knots to give it the webbed effect. So as you can see, it's double half hitch knots, tightly against the first row to begin, but then coming down, leaving a space of about 1 centimetre between each row. Let's begin. So take your holding knot. The holding knot represents the direction the knots will be going, and they'll be going down here. This will be your guide, leaving about 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres at the widest point of the webbed wing. First strand to knot from underneath, flies over, comes through the space. Once, and twice. Next knot. Flies over, comes through the space. Once, twice, next knot, flies over, comes through the space. Once, twice, so we've got increasing gap here with these knotting strands, clear to see in between. It's hard with the black cord to see. A wider gap still for the penultimate strand. The last vertical strand. And then don't forget to do it with this one. So under the holding string, flies over, twists around it, and a second time. So that's repeated 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. And move this wing to the side for the moment. Let's start the next wing. So we fold the cord in half again and take the loop to the top. We make our L shape. Knot, and this time we make an L shape again. Knot, and we arrange our cord in a right angle like so. At this stage you'll have 3 cords left, and we're going to use them all up now. Take another cord, fold it in half, and we're doing exactly the same as we did on the left wing to make the right wing in the opposite direction. Reverse lark's head knot under with the strands to the left, loop over to the left, pull the strands out to the left. Hold it in place while you pull the knot tight. Pin it here if you like. Take the top strand from the knot you've just done, loop it over, backwards D, feed the tail inside the space of the D, and pull it tight. Repeat the same with the bottom strand to the bottom, backwards D, through the space of the D, pull it up, push the knots up to meet your main knot at the top. Now repeat that with the last 2 cords. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spin the knot to the right. Rejig. Pin. Pin, pin. Got your cord coming out to the right, 7 strands down. You'll be making the opposite direction wing. So 4 lines in total, with gaps widening on the right hand side. Take your holding knot. Hold it in the place you want the knots to go. Half hitch knots, double half hitch knots. Fling it over through the gap. Fling it over. Next. Look at that one. Next one on the left. Hold the direction, nothing. Double knot, the other side, last time, last row. There we go. Now it's time to put your bat together. Right wing, left wing, place. Angle the wings up a bit, because what we'll be doing to connect them is knotting a line of double half hitch knots down there, and likewise the other side. So pin it in place. If you'd like to do so now, enable to do that. Okay, let's start with the right side. Off we go. Holding knot held in the direction of that you'll be knotting. I'm going to bring that a bit closer. There we go. Strands underneath, ignore these. Let's do a close up. Ignore these. Strands underneath, 1, 2, 3, 4, knotted in double half hitch knots. So fling it over. 1, 2. Next, 1, 2. Next, 1, 2. Next, 1, 2. Okay, let's fix the other side in place now. So this will be our holding knot. Move those out of the way. Comes down at an angle like that. So there's still a nice negative space between the head and the wings. First strand is here. Next, second strand. Third. Fourth. They should be meeting, the knots meeting each other quite nicely in the middle. At this point, we're gonna grab 2 of the strands and to create the 2 strands from which the bat will hang from. So if we're working down the knots that are coming out of the center, what you want to do, unpin the bat and feed them behind. Get them out the way so you can hang your bat up when it's finished. There we go. Reorganize your strands. Wing strands, center body strands. There we go. 4 each side in the center. Now you can see that underneath the eyes there are 2 lines of knots so far. What we want by the end is 5 lines, and how we create that is by grabbing the holding knot from the wings and knotting 5 more lines over these strands hanging vertically. So first one. Left side. Wow, look at this gorgeous tiger's eye, making the yellow and caramel tones shine. At this point it's a good idea just to make an extra knot to hold the 2 sides together. Doesn't need to be a double, but we don't want there to just be a hole all the way down the centre. Right, let's continue. So we've got 3 rows so far and we need 5. So get your holding knot from the wing and work your way down, knotting. Other side, holding knot, holding line strand from the wing, double half hitch from the verticals, fling it over twice for each strand. Close up for the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. that's part of that side. Just meet up the lines however you see fit. The sides rather. Doesn't matter if it's a bit higgledy-piggledy. Last holding knot from the wing. There, how's yours looking? Leave me a comment with how it's going and whether it looks similar to this one. Sure, it absolutely does. There we go. So we've finished the knotting of the body, and now we just need to gather all the remaining strands, bring them together in this final chunky row of knots before we make the tail. So let's arrange ourselves. We've got the wing strands still down there, main body strands in the center. Now what we're going to do each side is, starting with the very end, which is either one of these two. We're going to use this as our holding knot, and it's going to follow the line of the bat up and down to the tail. Same with the other side, it's going to go up and down to the tail, gathering in all these strands within it as we go. Let me show you. So first of all, direct your holding strand upwards, and let's knot these vertical lines in double half hitch knots. So throw it over, 1, 2. You're essentially doing a U-turn on yourself. Okay. You come down here with the same holding knot, and you're coming up again to meet the body. But once you're done with this line, what you're going to do is grab hold of it with your left hand, and it becomes a thicker holding strand. It's doubled up. And now when you come to your next knot, you knot it over the two of them. Remember, use this thumb to push it into place. Likewise, when you've done your 2 knots with this vertical string, bring it up, twist it in to your holding strands. I hope this is clear with the black cord. Let's move it up a bit. There we go. So knot over the 3 of them now. One, 2. Once you're done with it, move it to your left hand, twist it in, get ready with the next one, which is this one. If you think you can afford to skip a knot so it doesn't become too thick and chunky, you can. Seeing as this is quite a short strand, I'm not going to knot it, I'm just going to bring it to my left hand straight away and go on to the next one. Because it's in a corner, they're coming from the same place anyway. We're not going to miss out too much not having that knot. Now we're starting to turn the corner from the wing to the body. So make sure you follow that with how you knot. pushing it up. You can take your time really placing each circular knot. So keep going with these knots and you'll have quite a chunk of cord in your left hand by now. Keep going, following the shape of the body down. And we're at our last one. Create the desired shape that you need by placing the knots carefully. There we go. That's the right side done. Move those out of the way and let's do the left. So the outermost cord is your holding cord, which will knot up with the help of these strands and back down again, gathering each one in our right hand this time. Throw it over. Your first little U-turn knot as you go back up the way you came from the wing. Twist it under a little bit and hold it in your right hand. Next. So you've worked your way up, back on yourself from the wing, gathering the cords in your right hand. Next, make sure you turn a nice corner here from the wing rising up to the body coming back down again. If you need to skip a strand in the corner there, feel free. Just making sure the knots lie exactly where I need them. Almost there. Let's just check where we are. Seems to be one there. And one there, which won't get seen anyway. There you go. So we've gathered all our remaining strands into the center, and now we're gonna wrap them up before we cut the tail of the bat away. Unpin. Now turn the bat over and reach for that final bit of cord that's much shorter than the rest. What we're going to do is make a small loop at the top. So I've looped over about 10 centimeters. Hold it to the back so that the top 3 centimeters exceeds in height above where you want to start wrapping. Hold that with one thumb, and from your same bit of cord, that smaller, shorter piece of cord, go around all the tails, pulling as tight as you can. Remember, your shorter one. We'll be gathering down with the rest of them, but we'll need it in a minute. So wrap around and around neatly where you can. and around until you're just left with a short piece. Take the loop from the top, pull that tiny little short piece through it, hold it in place, and the other end of the cord, which was just lying down, pull it. Pull, pull, pull. And what it does is it pulls the loop, which is holding the other end of the cord, and nestles it safely behind your wrapping. And now it won't budge. Okay, so there's a little knot just being held underneath there from that initial loop that was pulled down by the other end of the cord. Let me know if you need more help with that one. Turn it back over. Sometimes you can see a few strands sort of not pulled taut enough, not pulled straight. So you just go and give all of those a good tug down. Find the one that's there, that's bothering you. And you can now cut the tail. Go by perhaps the shortest length that you've got visible. You need nice and sharp scissors. And you can either leave it in strands, separate strands, or you can comb it out like this one was combed out. Up to you. Finally, you can either do a knot there, or you can just knot straight at the top. Simple, simple knot. And your bat is ready to hang. How did you do? Let me know in the comments. If you like this tutorial, please give it a like, share it any way you can, comment, and would love to see pictures of your finished bats hanging up spookily ready for Halloween. Tag us on Instagram or Facebook, Jasper Rocks Craft Box. And why not check out some of the other kits we've got. We've got other macrame hangings in leaf and heart, all different colours. And we've got a Christmas tree ready for the festive season with crystals that you can choose. And then we've got micro macrame, our jewellery, what we're most known for. You can make a pair of macrame earrings or a crystal necklace. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!